Most founders fail because they try to force growth through sheer personal effort, rather than building automated, reliable frameworks. This stems from what's known as the entrepreneurial seizure. A baker who opens a bakery naturally assumes that understanding how to bake bread means they understand how to run a business that sells bread. But the technical work of a business and the business itself are entirely different things. The founder becomes trapped as a technician. Every decision, every problem, and every task routes directly through them, turning the company's daily survival into a test of their personal endurance. Relying on individual hustle to drive revenue creates a catastrophic single point of failure in the business architecture. It prevents a company from scaling and guarantees the founder will eventually burn out. To escape that trap, many founders try setting aggressive targets, but distant goals defer success to an imagined future state. They create motivational valleys where the team puts in massive effort but receives zero emotional payoff, draining their energy long before they reach the finish line. Rigid targets also trigger Goodhart's law, the economic principle that when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. People will simply game the system to hit the number. When Soviet planners set factory quotas based on the sheer number of items produced, workers manufactured hundreds of thousands of useless, tiny nails. When the planners realized the error and switched the target to weight, the factories started producing a few giant, heavy nails. Goals only offer a compass heading. Without a daily, repeatable system to execute the work, aggressive targets actively encourage short-term manipulation at the expense of long-term stability. To build a truly scalable company, you have to design a franchise prototype. This means treating your current operation as a strict template that could be flawlessly replicated 5,000 times. The paradox of this model is that it cannot rely on hiring exceptional talent. The system itself must be designed so intelligently that it can be operated by individuals with the lowest possible level of skill. You construct this prototype in 3 phases. First, innovate a better way to perform a task. Then, quantify the exact results. Finally, orchestrate it, locking those steps into a mandatory sequence. This guarantees the customer receives the exact same value every single time. A truly scalable business operates as a proprietary expert system that leverages ordinary people to produce extraordinary, consistent results. But as operations grow and the prototype expands, complexity naturally increases. Under the pressure of scaling, teams lose alignment and begin skipping critical steps in the process. Failures in complex environments rarely come from ignorance or not knowing what to do. They stem from ineptitude, knowing the right steps, but failing to apply them correctly when the workload gets heavy. The countermeasure is a minimum viable system. This is a rigid 5 to 9 item checklist strictly focused on the killer items that cause the most damage when missed. Inserting mandatory communication checkpoints prevents catastrophic dropped balls right where work hands off between departments. These simple checklists do not replace human expertise. They provide the necessary structural protection required for that expertise to scale without error. To continuously improve that protected prototype, you apply a framework known as the System of Profound Knowledge, developed by management theorist W. Edwards Deming. Deming argued that a business must be managed as a single, interconnected organism. Optimizing an individual component, or a siloed department, actually damages the larger system if it doesn't serve the overall aim. Today, digital infrastructure fulfills this requirement by acting as an organization's central nervous system. AI-driven CRM networks and real-time data analytics provide the outside lens needed to identify operational gaps and harmonize every part of the company. When these digital layers align with the overall aim, they remove the friction of manual oversight, allowing the entire operation to optimize and scale in a sustainable, controlled manner. In highly volatile environments, well-built systems preserve optionality. They build resilience, allowing an organization to rapidly test new approaches and adapt to unpredictable market shifts. You can see this dynamic in sports, specifically in the Dutch concept of total football. Because the players deeply internalized strict core principles regarding spatial awareness and passing patterns, they gained the ultimate creative freedom to improvise on the field. This chart illustrates the mathematical advantage of systemic habits over fixed goals. While a linear target creates slow, flat progress, a system that drives just a 1% daily improvement creates an exponential compounding curve, yielding a 37-fold return over a single year. Hitting an outcome-based goal only creates a temporary change in behavior until the target is reached. Building a systemic habit permanently restructures the identity of the entire organization. Every founder faces a choice. You can continue showing up every day to operate a fragile, highly complicated job, or you can step back and architect an autonomous, scalable asset. In the long run, supremacy in business belongs exclusively to the systems architect. Look closely at your own operation. Are you doing the work, or are you building the machine?